Hi, my name is Mr. Free F Man, and I'm going to talk to you about Black Fives. At first, we're going to talk about Camelot, who, my opinion, my opinion is an amazing engine with a great name because, King Arthur. But I can't talk about just Camelot, I will talk about all Black Fives because Camelot was made after the LMS and never worked for the LMS and only British Railways, whereas most of the Black Fives did work for the LMS, but it's also my first and one of my most viewed vids. See, for me, that's quite a lot of views, but I'm sure you're thinking, that ain't Camelot, that's Henry, exactly. I feel before I talk about that, I should talk about where my fascination with Black Fives come from. And Henry is one of the factors in it. Now, we all know, or those of us who grew up with Thomas the Tank Engine, originally Henry was not a Black Five, and he was rebuilt into one, which is just how the Reverend worked round bad drawings. And the TVS series did it more as he was sick and needed special coal. But Henry is definitely a factor as to why I'm fascinated with Black Fives, and who knows, maybe it's a factor as to why I like trains as well. That is mainly my granddad going, "You're not watching this cartoon crap. Watch the model show." I mean, as much as I love Henry, it's not just Henry. It's also some fan-made series, and I'm sure you you can see the one I've got up. Big part of my early childhood. Now, I love how Henry was shown in this show, but there's another character that I love. The other character that I love, this is Peter, the LMS Black 5 and heavy goods engine for, well, the LMS within the show, and he works for Mr. Zorro. But we're not yapping about the show as much as it is brilliant, and it was a big part of my later childhood. Now, I remember when Peter's Trial came out and he had his little outburst, and I was like, whoa! And I thought that was really cool. Until he was in Railgate, and I thought, ah, crap, I kind of miss him now. And then he came back, and I was like, yes, 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 get in. And then, we all know what happened to him, and I'm sure you don't want me to talk about it because I'm sure we all had similar reactions, and it's not exactly child friendly, and the app I'm using doesn't like helping with censoring, so I will not be sharing what my reaction was because this is like take 5. So I'm not sharing my reaction. Jokes aside, I love you, Victor, brilliant work. But I'm afraid that's enough on fictional characters, although they have won my heart. And now on to, well, the real deal. The actual locomotives. With a few facts, and then we can talk about Camelot. The building of Black Fives began in 1934 and ended in 1951, which is pretty good, all things considered. You know it's a good class when it lasts for a long time. It lasted for an entire era of the Big Four. LMS, who the Black Fives worked for, the LNER, the Great Western Railway and Southern Railway, all the way up until British Railways. Because of their dates, some did not serve the LMS. I should also say now, there are no members of the Black Five class which are notably famous, and by that I mean like Mallard famous. None of them are really famous. There are some notable examples, like the one formerly known as Magpie, which was the first one to be preserved and still works on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. I do hope I've said that right and haven't absolutely butchered it. We'll find out. I don't want to find out. I'm joking. I do want to find out, but I do think I've said it right. And now I'm overthinking it, so I'm gonna leave that point there. Moving on, the maximum speed for the Black Fives were 90 miles per hour. One was, in 1967, said to go 96 miles per hour. However, for their work, they were mostly needed to only go 60 miles per hour, which is pretty good. In those 17 years that they were made, there was 842 constructed. See, and my stutter's kicking in again because I'm trying not to get excited, but it's so hard. It's so hard. But in less exciting news, out of that 842, only 18 were preserved, which is quite a lot gone. I'm sorry to say that those who were not in that 18 met their end at the Cutter's Torch. Quite a few on the now infamous, or rather famous, Barry Island, where they either sat and rusted away, got robbed by locals and maybe even tourists, or once again met the Cutter's Torch alongside all of the other engines. Gone forever. However, for some lucky ones, like Camelot, the same fate is not written for everyone, as Camelot, who was also sent to Barry Island, was saved by society now known as the Camelot Preservation Society, and he now resides on the Bluebell Railway, where he is probably quite relieved to be one of the 18. But let's not talk about where he is now just yet, even though the Bluebell Railway is an absolute must-go. If you haven't been there, it's lovely, it is beautiful, and it's a very pleasant day out. You should go. But Camelot was built by British Railways, never served the LMS, and was quite lucky to be preserved. Camelot was taken out of service and sent to Barry Island in November of 1966. Luckily, nowadays, Camelot now has a very good home at the Bluebell Railway, which is very much worth a visit. It is an incredibly fun day out, and I'd say Camelot is among the privileged few to be able to live on, well, the Bluebell Railway. Now, though, those of you who grew up on watching Thomas the Tank Engine will remember Stepney. Now, I've always thought, since he mentions Bluebells forever, it'd be quite cool if maybe Camelot or Bluebell, who's going to come up in a minute because he's the next picture, bingo! Anyway, I think I think it'd be really cool if one of them showed up either in the actual show or a fan-made show. But yeah. Firstly, I'm sorry for showing you all of my notifications and my charge. Got a little bit too excited, haven't edited it, and you know what? We've come this far. Anyway, those of you who are like-minded to me probably thought, can I join the Camelot Preservation Society? Now, I could do a really long-winded answer, or I can give you the short answer, which is yes. Yes, you can. According to this, it's 20 quid. Just in case, I'm going to try and put a link in the description. I'm not sure if I can. Goodbye, thank you.